This is the Nightwolf howling at you, and today we're going to do another Transformers Generation 2 retro review, this time with the character of Dreadwing and Smokescreen. As you can see here in his normal form, Dreadwing is a stealth bomber. And we'll take a better look at all of this here. Looks pretty good from the front, or the top I should say. Here we got the side view. Oh. And he comes with a massive Gatling gun missile launcher, which unfortunately I don't think it's working properly, but we'll find out when we're doing part of the review. Turn him around in the front here and you get a good look. Yeah, unfortunately there is quite a bit of robot kibble on him in vehicle mode. They couldn't find a real good way to hide them legs. Well, okay, and the big Gatling gun on the bottom really doesn't help. And then from the back. You may be noticing that there does seem to be a secondary, perhaps, vehicle in there, and you would be correct. This is a secondary vehicle that will pop out in a moment. But as far as playability goes, you see these little clear spots here. Those actually act, like buttons to drop the missiles as bombs. And then, of course, the Gatling gun attachment here. Theoretically, if it works. Oh, and it is working. Let's see if we can do that again. Oops. Remember, Generation 2 was probably the highlight of having action features included with the Transformer toys. That being said, Dreadwing here is actually technically considered a triple changer, because when we pull Smokescreen out, the wings fold up. We gotta throw those back here. The Gatling gun now moves to the back this way. We open up these little clips on the side here to give them treads. And he is now a tank. Oops. Which again shoots missiles. What I would like to point out too, as I put these in here, the missiles do not actually snap into place at all. They just sit in there. That's why they keep falling out when I move stuff around. But let's go ahead and, this is awkward. That is awesome. I'm going to pull these other missiles off the side right now, get them out of the way. And let's go ahead and try transforming him into robot mode. Hopefully I can remember how to do it. By the way, engineering again. Whoops. Dang it. See, this is designed so that it locks in place, or it pops out when you pull him out. So, but look at the way the wings are designed to fold. I don't know. They just look kind of nice. Nicely done there. Transformation wise, we got to close up the treads again, unhook them and pull them down, and you see his feet down here, which will lock into place. So once again, pull down to detach, pull back. Why is that not? Oh, hold on. Oh, okay, hold on. See, it's been so long since I've done this. All right, so we can't quite finish putting the legs into place yet because we need to turn this. But what we have to do first is fold. Oh my God. Fold out the head. No, his legs do need to. Okay, we do need to get his legs in place before we finish doing that. Okay, so we had to get the gun out of the way so that we could fold the legs in and snap them into place. You see there's a little hole there and a peg there. Then we can put the torso down, which unfortunately there is not actually anything that holds it into place. But with the torso down, we can finish moving this sideways, open this flap up here, so we can move the gun up on the side, close that again. I know that was really awkwardly done because I couldn't remember how to transform him. Swing the arms out and down. Pull the little arm covers out. So swing the arm back, swing it down. Pull the arm cover out. And he's got the body of a Sharkticon when you think about it. Like he's got that really chubby ass torso. And he is unfortunately back heavy. And again, the one problem with Generation 2 was there were no such thing as heel spurs to help hold him up. So he's a very heavy transformer. The torso does not click into place. So that is a bit of an issue with the design as well. But let's go ahead and talk about his articulation. The cannon can rotate in robot mode. And again, just like before, it'll launch. The head is on a swivel. And as you can see, there's light piping on here. Oh, see what I mean? He's back heavy. He can look up if you switch the push the head back. But that's it. You can't look forward or you can't look down. We've got technically a butterfly joint here with that, I guess, although I wouldn't do that too much. The arm can spin around. It does interfere with that, so you have to have it out if you want to go all the way around. Single joint at the elbow. Ugh. We do not get a full, or we do get a full 90 degree on there, but it's kind of stiff, at least on mine. And of course, you want to be careful because that does feel like it could potentially break. He can kick forward, yay far. And he can't really kick back unless you bend the knee. But he does actually have a knee joint that bends around that much. And I need to pay more attention to what I'm doing on the camera. He can also kick out about that far. So he still could kind of get a kick. But he definitely looks like that fat kid trying to do a high kick. This is another one of those figures that I would really like to see redone in the current modern era. And I suspect that he would have to be done probably as a commander class, to be honest. And we, of course, wouldn't get the action feature. Now, as mentioned before, we had this secondary plane that came out. This would be Smokescreen. He also kind of resembles a different style stealth fighter. And these guns at the side do launch. You can pull those off. It will also fit inside Smokescreen, or it'll also fit inside Dreadwing's hand there. By the way, I love the coloring on this guy too. This right here, by the way, is for one reason or another, I can't even tell you why, but it is one of my favorite Transformers. This part alone is one of my favorite Transformers. Now let's see if I can remember how to transform him though. But before we get too far, he does have landing gear. Actually, Dreadwing did as well, but I totally forgot about it. And I mean, it looks like real landing gear. It's not just that little puffy crap that comes off the bottom, like you know, that barely qualifies as landing gear, like we had in Silverbolt. But actually, really nice landing gear. But we'll close those up. To transform him, we pull his legs back and out. or down and out, I should say, because there's a peg there, or a peg there, and a hole there, right? Then we pull this section down and forward to make the body. Then we have to turn this section, and you have to have it at a slight angle, otherwise the head catches in place, but you turn that around like that. We need to flip down the tail fins. Then we pull these down, or swing them down like that. Then we can swing them all the way over, one at a time. Now watch this. As we pull him back that way, we pull this down and hinge right here. We got a couple tabs here and a couple slots there, so that will help lock his torso in place. We can now bend the arms down, fold the fans around the other way. The fins, I mean fans. The fins around the other way. Spread out the back of the feet here, like so. This does not lock in place particularly well. There is a little bit of a lock there, but it's just, you know, a friction thing, I guess. And he too can also hold the gun. But also, if you wanted to, you can keep the gun stored on his leg where it is in vehicle mode. Like that if you wanted. Articulation-wise on Smokescreen here, the head is on a swivel. It is really hard to get it to go all the way around. I think you can only go about halfway. He also does have the... I really should get a little flashlight for these. He does have the light piping in the back also. Probably can't tell. The arms rotate. The problem, one issue though, is once you start rotating them, you might knock loose the back. So you kind of have to hold that in place, but obviously the wing does interfere. The arm hinges out. We get a better than 90, but that has more to do with transformation than anything else. The fist is hidden in there, so we don't get anything from there. There is no waist crunch or waist swivel. He can kick out pretty far. Full splits, although well, I guess technically you can do him like that. He can kick forward really far. Good high kick in the front. And the only thing that interferes with the back kick is, again, the wings in the back. So actually, while he does have a kibble there, we've seen enough Transformers where they try to make it look like they have a cape or wings in the back, and that kind of fills in fine with that too. Just a note here on the back kibble here on Dreadwing. There's a lot of it. I mean, the wing panels fold up just like the same as his tank mode or missile launcher mode. But you look at this, he's got a wide open back, which looks really kind of awkward. Obviously, Smokescreen does not fit in there. And the wings just kind of hang out. Of course, if you don't want the missiles to fall, you have to lean that back a little bit. But yeah, his back is kind of a mess. But still. He's a cute little chubbo, isn't he? But this is, in fact, another one of my favorite sets of Transformers from Generation 2. Like, I think they came up with some really creative stuff in Generation 2, and that's one of the reasons why I want to go over it. Unfortunately, as I was digging him out, I realized that when I had had some issues with money, I had sold off a lot of my Generation 2 Transformers. I still have a lot of the smaller ones, and, you know, obviously the bigger ones, like Optimus Prime and Megatron. but I think I only have one of the cars, and I do have both Starscream and Ramjet though still. So I'll keep going over the Generation 2 ones. And so far, the only Generation 2 ones, the only ones I've really been going over have been the ones that were new for Generation 2. I haven't done any of the repaints yet from the Generation 1 series, but we'll do that eventually too. This is and I believe that this was actually in Japan. They'd gone with I believe he was Starscream and he was known as BB. And I think they appeared actually in the Beast Wars 2 animation. And of course, as with our previous Generation 2 ones, we do have a card where, again, I always like to mention this yellow, orange, and pink on here, which I don't know what color they're going to show up on the screen, is actually a specific day glow color, has to be separate inks. So this is not only doing the normal CMYK ink, but they added 3 additional hits with the other colors. Decepticon, Dreadwing, Function, Sneak Attack Specialist. When you least expect it, expect me. Streaks in from excess altitude while cloaked in stealth armor. Bombs Autobot strongholds without ever being detected. Separates into smokescreen jet fighter and armored tank to enhance destructive capabilities. As robot or plane, the giant Gatling gun blasts a multitude of missiles at enemy forces, while jet fighter enters dogfights with wing-mounted launchers. Impossible to shoot down. You can't hit what you can't see. So yeah, why don't you guys tell me what you think of Dreadwing and Smokescreen here? Like I said, for some reason, like when I was collecting Generation 2, when I was a kid, this really was one of my favorite Transformers right here. And actually, when you get right down to it, they did a very similar design for Starscream in one of the Unicron trilogy shows. I think the Energon one. So that was kind of exciting back then too. But if you enjoyed my look at this Generation 2 retro review of Dreadwing and Smokescreen, please feel free to blast that like button. And if you want to hear more of my nonsense and see more of the Generation 2 Transformers, please feel free to subscribe. Thank you for watching. Peace and love.